I'm going to need 2 of these for this video. Max Landis, we have some issues. Hit that intro.
The following is brought to you by AKAPAD.
Woo! Once it hits the lips. Okay. Everyone, I have an issue with Max Landis. Now, it's nothing to do with the boy's success. It's nothing to do with what you want to do. It's that you're on the inside, meaning you worked with these companies, you worked with some of these individuals. You've been canceled, you've come back, you've become a YouTube personality. You've done very well. You've done some good things. And you have a platform. And from the platform, you're talking garbage. Alright. Normally when I jump into a video like this, I take notes, I do a little bit of research. None of that. I'm just gonna put up a picture of Max over here somewhere from one of his more recent videos. This video came up on my feed. I didn't even know he was back in the YouTube game. I thought he was still canceled. I don't know, but it's like this pitch. It's an hour-long pitch that I had to sit through. Luckily, I can sit through it and do some drawing, be productive. Trial by fire, available now on Indiegogo. The linky is down below E. So what's my issue? The guy's just making the pitch, right? Like it's innocent. You might be right. But when you have a platform, you're from the inside, and you have an audience, and you're spreading bad ideas, the AKAPAD army is going to come for you, and we're not going to like it. So let's drill into this a little bit. That's what she said. Okay. What's this? It's like, it's like, what's this obsession? That we have to spin everything. What's this obsession that we have to redefine, reevaluate, or even define relationships within comics? Now, you don't be like, Pete, what is this? Okay, so here's what I'm saying. The way how the comic book game should work. And I'm going back to like success, when comics were comics. You got hired to jump on Spider-Man, we'll say. And the previous guy got done with issue 655. You're coming in at 656. Same writer. You're a hired gun. The writers already got some stuff, working with the editors, and your job is to do your job. And then along the way, we get this like slow experimentation. These slow ideas come through like the ether of the month-to-month publication. So 60 years later, we have this like composite of who Peter Parker and the webhead boy of New York City is. And along the way, no one goes back and says, well, he kind of had this and that, and his best friend was Cyclops, and Cyclops' best friend was Doctor Strange, and we're going to connect all these dots. No. So, the way how it works, and I'm coming from the idea of building a core audience. See, everyone got duped. Okay, all these lazy creators in comics they duped you. They convinced you, and you guys know better. They convinced you that continuity doesn't sell. They convinced you that number ones were essential. They convinced you that we wanted epics. Okay. Continuity does sell. Continuity builds that addiction content drip in your mind that you will need that next issue. And you enjoy it so much, you recruit. You get this guy, you get that guy, you recruit. You're crackhead. Constant number ones, constant revamps, and insane revisionist approaches to these characters that we already know is insane. Think on that. So Max Landis has his platform, and he wants to give us a pitch on Dick Grayson being best friends with the Superman, an angry Aquaman. You know, like for some reason now, the King of Atlantis has got to be pissed. Here's the awesome thing about Aquaman. You had Submariner, who was angry from the beginning. Give and take, right? We know we want the Fantastic Four Aquaman, okay? Issue 4 maybe I want to say, or issue 6. We want that one. He's been pissed since the original pages, and the counterpart was Aquaman, who was the god of the ocean, and he was happy. He was happy. He talked to the fishes. Okay, he rode a seahorse. The guy was happy. I don't need to know that he's murdering vessels of ships full of people, or vessels full of people, okay? I don't need a Riddler Man of Steel confrontation that makes no complete sense, okay? So, going back to this long drawn out drip, okay? DC was very masterful at one time because they used the Elseworlds imprint to test market ideas about their characters, and some of those ideas found their way into the books, and this was like a very natural process. Marvel, on the other side, had like a really good graphic novel game, and they had like What If. And no one took What If seriously, but eventually What If found its way into continuity. Now, these are very different approaches because these are most likely readers that got into the industry that remember some of those takes. Okay? And I will always reference this because we're always lazy when we take the approach with the Man of Steel. Okay? Who doesn't need a new origin, who doesn't need new relationships defined. Okay? If we go to Red Sun, Joseph Stalin is having a heart attack. Look this up. Prove me wrong. Joseph Stalin is having a heart attack. I'm just going off of memory here. And he's like, okay? And during his dying heart, the communist Superman reads an entire library of books. And this is all like within like 2 panels. And it's like a second. It's like he reads the books within like a heartbeat, and he comes back, and he there's nothing they can do. They cannot save Stalin, and Stalin dies. This I go to this because it's a perfect representation of the Man of Steel. He cannot be outsmarted. He cannot be duped. There is nothing the Riddler can ever do against him. And we constantly want to make him a boy. We want to make him weak. We want to make him confused. Ugh, look, I'm slobbering here. Give me one of these. Right? Like we want him to be all of these things because as a creator, we cannot figure out a story for the guy. It's laziness. And you're like, what are you talking about, Pete? Look, I just need to go. We're going to say a name here. Alan Moore, you know the name, and Joe Casey. Joe Casey's one of my boys because his work is right there. Alan Moore and Joe Casey at one time, they had these like dueling books, and it was fascinating. One of them was called Mr. Majestic, Wildstorm, drawn by Ed McGuinness, who at the time had like probably one of my favorite styles in comic history. He doesn't draw like that now. Whatever. Okay. And then on the other side, we had Supreme by Alan Moore. Both of these books were Superman, and they were done so much better than what DC was doing. At the time, DC's big push was Worlds at War, which was actually a lot of fun too. McGuinness was connected to that also. But it's like, we have like a 2-year period where these are the landmarks. So I know insanely awesome original Superman stories can be told within a continuity. Now, DC's problem is there is no continuity. And DC's problem is that we got Max Landis over here just pushing ideas, hoping to get hired for a book that nobody really wants to read, a book that will further like pull down the industry, that would destroy readership, that doesn't build continuity. I would like to see all of you, all of my AKAPADers out there. I want to see all of you hashtag continuity now. We have to bring back continuity in comics. If you're working on your own comic, like I am over there, because I can't point to it, have a PBR. If you're working on your own comic, take it seriously, and you better weave in some continuity, or I'm going to find you, I'm going to find you. But everyone, and I don't know. I think I'm done. I'm just going to finish this, and we're going to cycle out. Ah. All right, everyone. I love you. Rock and roll.